All right, we are now ready for notes for section 2.5. This homework is on page 109 in your textbook, and it is titled Solving for a Variable. So our answer, instead of getting a number like x equals 2, our answer is going to be more variables. If you look at this first equation, or first problem in the book, the problem reads, the formula which I have written, A equals 46C, gives the floor area, A, in square meters, that can be wired using C circuits. Well, circuits would be like electricity. The part A says solve this equation, A equals 46C, for C. Solve it for C. So I want to solve for C. In other words, get your answer so it says C equals. Well, I want to get this C all by itself. And you should realize to do that, you need to divide by 46. That way the 46 cancels. So you have A equals, A over 46 equals C. Now that's the same thing as saying C equals A over 46. So either one is fine. I'll circle this one. Now we have it solved for C. So it says C equals. But there's a second part to this equation. Second part to this problem. The next part says, if a room is 322 square meters, that's the area, how many circuits are required to wire this room? So in other words, if I take 322 and plug it in place of this A, so I'm going to write 322 over 46 equals C. Now I could have easily written C equals 322 over 46. Of course, that's the same thing. With my calculator, I would just divide 322 divided by 46, and that comes out to be 7. So if our room is 322 square meters, the electrician would come in and say, we need at least 7 circuits here. A circuit would be like those little switches in your breaker box at home. Let's keep going. The next one I want to do is number 3. This one says V equals LWH. And what those stand for is volume equals length times width times height. And the directions in my book say solve for W. So in other words, I want to get this W all by itself. To do that, I need to eliminate the L and the H, the length and the width. Therefore, I divide the other side by length and width, which means I can mark out my L's and mark out my H's. So I have the W by itself, and here's my answer, V over length times height. And of course, I could write that W equals volume over length times height. So you just solved the first equation for what the directions tell you in the book. Let's try number 4. ST plus 3T equals 6. Solve for S. So I need to get this S by itself. I cannot start off by dividing by T. I have to start off subtracting 3T. So I bring down my ST equals, of course, this is gone. And a mistake here is to write 3T. You cannot subtract a 6 minus a 3T. I have to erase this. I can't subtract those. So I'm just going to write it like that. I cannot take 6 minus 3 because they're not like terms. I'm not quite done now. I still need to solve for this s. Now I can divide by t, which means I divide the other side by t. So I can simplify. My t's are gone. S equals, and I would just write this as my answer. 6 minus 3t over t. And that would be my answer. I just solved the first equation for s. Notice the answer says s equals. Let's do one more together. We'll finish the rest of them in class. Number 5. M minus 4n equals 8. Solve that for m. M minus 4n plus 8. Looks like I need to add 4n to both sides. So here's my opposites. I can mark those out. I can bring down my m. Looks like I'm going to be done here in a second. A mistake over here is to write 12n, and that is wrong. Don't add those together because they're not like terms. Just write it 8 plus 4n, and you're done at that point. There's no second step there. Okay, again, we will finish the other 6, 7, 8 of them in class. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.